ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं मुदीरयेत्. In this session, we will be discussing from the 33rd verse of the 17th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Navartitavyam tad adharma bandho dharmena satyena cha vartitavye brahmavarte yatra yajanti yajnair Yagneshwaram Yagnavitana Vijnaha. The meaning of this verse is, therefore, O friend of irreligion, you do not deserve to remain in a place where experts perform sacrifices according to truth and religious principles for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These are words spoken by Parikshit Maharaj to Kali Purusha to refresh your memory. While Parikshit was touring the kingdom, he came across this Kali Purusha trying to beat a bull and a cow. The bull was standing just on one leg, somehow hobbling along, and the cow had tears in her eyes, and she seemed to be unprotected. And this Kali Purusha was actually a low-class person, dressed as a king, but his activity, his action was harming the cow and the bull. So immediately Parikshit took out a sword to kill this Kali Purusha. But Kali Purusha actually he completely surrendered to the king when he saw there was no way he could escape. So since Kali Purusha surrendered, Parikshit did not want to kill him. But he said, you cannot remain in my kingdom because you are the friend of irreligion, adharma bandhu. So he is addressing in this verse, why is a personality like Kali Purusha not allowed to live in the kingdom of Parikshit Maharaj? So the kingdom of Parikshit Maharaj is a place where experts perform sacrifices according to truth and religious principles for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a place is called Brahmavarta. It is not only one place, but it is wherever, any place on the surface of this globe where the Supreme Lord is worshipped according to the principles of the authorized scriptures. And that is explained in the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Yagneshwara, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the beneficiary of all kinds of sacrificial ceremonies. This is a statement of the Bhagavad Gita. The Supreme Lord is called Yajneshwara. Yajna Ishvara. He is the enjoyer, the beneficiary, the object of all sacrifices, which are performed according to the scriptural directions, which are authorized by the standard scriptures, which are not manufactured by some person of this world. No. So, Srila Prabhupada says, such sacrificial ceremonies are prescribed differently in the scriptures for different ages. Now, the Shastras are recommending different types of sacrifice for different yugas in this earth planet. Different yugas, the conditions are different. The living conditions are different. In Satyuga, most people are situated in the mode of goodness. They are all spiritually inclined. They are very much religious minded. They follow the scriptural directions. So, for that age, the method of sacrifice was the performance of meditation on the Supreme Lord within the heart. Vishnu seated in the heart is Paramatma, meditation on Paramatma. And that was feasible in that age in Satya Yuga. There was a long duration of life for people, and people were very, very sober, peaceful. They were satisfied with all the necessities being met with by the arrangement of the Supreme Lord through the material nature. So, even now, if you go to the Himalayas, of course it's rare, but there are people who are living in certain secluded places, remote places in the Himalayas, where there is plenty of fruits available, nice water for bathing, drinking, everything, pure water, and there are caves for living under the as a place of shelter, and then their mind is completely controlled, so they are able to direct their mind, focus their mind on meditation on the Supreme Lord in the heart, as directed by the Shastras. So, the Bhagavatam says, Krite yadhyayato Vishnum. That is the recommendation. And in the second age, Treta Yuga, the duration of life reduces, and there is some irreligiosity, because with time there is a degradation in the consciousness of the people, of the human beings. So vice is introduced, irreligion is introduced in Treta Yuga, and gradually the religious principles reduce by 1/4 in Treta Yuga. So the method is performance of fire sacrifice. Tretayam yajato makhaihi. People are recommended to perform fire sacrifices as again given in the authorized Vedic scriptures. And there are varieties of sacrifices for varieties of people, different purposes, but ultimately all such sacrifices are aimed at satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead only. And in Dwapara Yuga it is temple worship, Dwapare Paricharyayam, temple worship of the Lord in different deity forms, installed deity forms. So that is the method in Dwapara Yuga. And in Kali Yuga, Kalautad Hari Kirtanat, the method is a performance of Sankirtan Yajna. So Srila Prabhupada says, in other words, sacrifice means to accept the supremacy of the Lord and thereby perform acts by which the Lord may be satisfied in all respects. Religion means to please the Supreme Lord by the recommended method as given in the scriptures, because scriptures are given by the Supreme Lord. So Yajna ultimately means to please the Supreme Lord after accepting His supremacy. He is the Supreme Personality. He is the Supreme Controller. He is the Supreme Maintainer. He is the Supreme Well-Wisher. He is the Supreme Lord. Every perspective you see, He is the Supreme. Nobody is equal to Him, nobody is greater than Him. So therefore He is meant to be obeyed by all. Not that somebody believes that everyone is God or Supreme, or that somebody else believes there is no God, or somebody else believes such and such a person is God. It's not like that. God means one and only one Supreme Personality. And all bona fide religions accept this particular, or all bona fide religions teach and propagate and also have got documented in their scriptures that there is one Supreme Lord who is the Lord of all, everyone, without exception. But He is described according to the people for whom the scriptures were actually written. So there is only one Lord. He may be called as Krishna or Buddha in the Buddhist system, in the Vedic system Krishna. Of course, Krishna is not present in only one form, the Supreme Lord. Krishna, Rama, Narsimha, Varaha, etc. And in the Christian religion, He is called as Christ or Father in heaven. And in the Islam religion as Allah. And like that, in the Buddhist religion as Buddha. And this is all the religions aim at worship of this Supreme Lord, obey His orders, and ultimately, as Prabhupada points out, all religions ultimately aim at developing love for God. That is the highest perfection of religion. But the atheists do not believe in the existence of God and did not perform any sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord. So this is demoniac mentality. Divine nature and demonic nature is always there, everywhere, at all times. And the number of demons proportionately may be less or more in different yugas. But there are people of demoniac nature, and they deny God or they try to compete with God. They are atheists. Whereas theists, no matter which religious system they follow, which is a bona fide religious system, they are always divine natured, and they want to perform actions for satisfying the Supreme Lord. So that is the basic principle of religion, that is to worship God by truthfulness. And the recommended common formula of sacrifice in Kali Yuga is Sankirtan Yajna, chanting the holy names of the Supreme Lord. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.